Divine Soul Tribe. I'm back again with a message and reading. Welcome to my channel. I'm Divina. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back, Divine Soul Tribe. Sorry, I'm laughing because I know that the front bit of this is just going to be with me with my mouth open. Anyway, so I'm an energy reading, intuitive energy reading empath. Energy's fluid, it flows. So he could be a she could be a he, it could be you, the person you're connected to. Hi, the person you're connected to, friends, family members, acquaintances, co-workers. Take it as it resonates, Divine Soul Tribers. Today is a very special episode. It's number 100. Hi, Chrissy. It's episode 100. So the beginning of this one is going to be a little bit different because I have been wanting to do something specific, right? A topic of discussion. Anyway, so this is just going to be a general collective chat and reading. So not everything's going to apply and it's not all going to fit. So if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Right, that being said, let's get into it. Right. So the question for all empaths, trigger warning. Some of the following content may trigger you. Good. Right. So the question is, empaths, 144 on the clock. Have you ever really been in love? Yeah, of course I have. I can hear you all saying it. I can hear you. But the truth is, you're an empath. So as an empath, as a basic default setting, you soak up the energies around you. And if you're involved with somebody on a romantic level, you're going to soak up their energies, aren't you? Their emotions, their feelings. Thank you, Chrissy. So when you feel that yearn, that pull towards that person, is that you or is that them? Let's not forget, fellow empaths, we generally tend to encounter narcissistic people whose biggest fear is being left alone. So yes, you guys may have abandonment issues, but they're going to be reinforced by their abandonment issues and what they do to try to make themselves feel safe. Push, push, push. One more test. Because you've got to consistently prove to them how much you love them. Do you love them? Or is it them that loves you? And you're picking that up from them. The yearning. The desire. The fear of them leaving. Because the thing is, right, when they go, when they go, within 3 to 6 months, you're like, what was I thinking? You actually look back in disgust because you've had time to detox, you've had time to cleanse your energy space from them and their toxicity. How many of you, so how many of your exes do you actually look back on and be like, still love them? How many? 0 of them narcissists, I bet. 0. Now, if any of you have been lucky enough to actually encounter somebody that wasn't narcissistic, that didn't have a fear of abandonment on that scale, that they would push, 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 one more test, and they genuinely just wanted to give you love and have you love them back, genuinely, you probably haven't really been in love before. Lust, limerence, transferred obsession. Don't forget, most of you, myself included, I'm not excluded from this. This is something I've been pondering because obviously I've been processing my own stuff. We all got to do it. Can't sit here talking to you about it and not do it myself. You jump into bed too soon, so you get dickmatized or ensnatched. Like I've been saying for many, many years, if good sex is the only good thing about the relationship, it's not a good relationship. Oh, let's just kiss and make up. That gets very tedious and boring after a while, because you can't I was gonna do a big sweary word. You can't out bleep the arguments. You can't out bleep the fact that you're not compatible, can you? Because you get to that point, we've all been there, and no wand or portal worth this-ish. It's not. Keep it to yourself. I don't want it. I'm not interested. Right? And then when you look back, you're, oh God, I'm so glad I got rid of that one. I'm so glad I'm not with them anymore. You shudder at the thought of it. But some of you may have actually encountered somebody that wasn't a narcissist, that genuinely just gave you unconditional love. Yes, that's the one there that you can say, I genuinely did love that person. I was genuinely in love with that person. Because they weren't, what's the word? They weren't tricking you into anything. They weren't manipulating you. They weren't siphoning your energy. Oh, what's that word? Coercing, that's the word. They weren't coercing your love from you. Because the thing is, as an empath, your desire is to help others heal. That's why you know, healers are empaths. Most genuine healers are empaths, because it's your it's don't worry, that if you build it, they will come, Chrissy. Believe you and me. If you a genuine healer, right, you'll be a genuine empath, because you'll be able to feel their energies, right? So you have this desire to help others, right? You can't help yourself. It's just, I want to help them. And because you see, with these narcissists that you encounter, or people with narcissistic behavioural tendencies, you want to help them, because you're like, oh, I don't want to say it like this, but they're broken. They need fixing, or they need helping, or they need help healing. They need support. Whatever it is, you want to give it to them. You want to help them. You want to help them heal. You want to help them grow. You want to help them evolve. And all the while, they're energy vampires. They're siphoning your good energy from you, but they're transferring, right, their fears, their stresses, their anxieties onto you, their burdens. They're just putting it onto you. You soak it up. And if you're an empath that doesn't even realise that you're an empath, or you're not at that stage where you know how to control it or discern your stuff from their stuff, you just take it on and you accept it as your own. It's like with the telepathic communication. If you're not consciously aware of what's going on, you just accept those thoughts as your own and you run with it. It's like with the feelings. I remember when I was a teenager, and I used to pick it up. You're fine, Chrissy. And I'd pick up somebody else's feeling, and it'd always be guilt or shame. And I'm like, I'm sat there, I'm just watching something on the telly, and I'm like, what do I feel guilty for? Why do I feel guilty? And then I'd sit there for ages trying to figure out, well, what have I done? Or did I do anything? Like, well, nobody knows about that. You know, all kinds of stupid things would go through my head. Like, and I had no reason to feel guilty. It would be somebody else in the room. But because I didn't know what was going on, I would just accept that feeling as my own. Why does this always happen? It's the lighting. Right? I would just accept that feeling as my own and not and not realise, well, it's not, well, I would know it wasn't me, but I'd be like, well, I'm feeling this, so it's coming from somewhere, so I have to figure out where it's coming from. So those feelings that you have, limerence, lust, obsession, well, I'm obsessed, but you know, should we call it a strong focus on that person? You accept it and you believe that it's you. That's how you feel about that person. You're scared, the fear of them leaving. That's the worst one, the fear of them leaving. And you actually take that on as your own fear. I don't want them to leave. Don't leave me. I don't give a shit. Bye. If you're gonna go, you're gonna go. I can't hold you here, love. Huh? So, you know, it begs the question, and I've been asking this question for a very long time, and I have been talking to other empaths about this. So I literally just drop that nugget and then just leave them with it. So, actually, now you come to think of it. Because the thing is, once you get far away from that particular person or persons, you know, however many you've encountered over the years, when you look back, you're like, oh, I'm not going anywhere near them. You don't even like them. You don't even get on there. The only thing you had in common was you was compatible physically. It's not a relationship. You were dickmatized. And the thing is, they know, or you were in snatch, take it as it resonates, right? And the thing is, they know, right? That's going to wear off soon. That's why they start with the mind games pretty quick. Huh? This is why now, right? Celibate till my wedding night. Because I'm not playing them silly games. Not. If I want to spend if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with somebody, it's going to be somebody that I want to be around for the rest of my life. Not just because they tickle my fancy. Could tickle my own fancy. I don't need somebody. And their foolish behaviours trying to do that for me. I could do it for myself. I'm not that I do that anymore because, you know, you've got to get rid of all these bad habits. But this is the thing, right? How do you genuinely know? How many times have you got into a relationship and then 3-6 months later you're looking at it and you're like, why am I here? How did I get here? Why are we sat in the same room together? Don't even like you. Because most of you out there that I'm talking to, divine counterpart, have a divine counterpart. So you'll resonate with the twin flame journey, right? I just see 1333. So you guys will resonate with the twin flame journey, right? Having a God ordained spouse, a divine counterpart, right? Tickle your fancy, Chrissy. Right? Anyway. So you would resonate with that. So how many of you, when you've been in a relationship, have sat there thinking, you're not for me. Wonder how long this is going to last. I wonder what we're going to end up breaking up over. I wonder who's going to end it. Is it going to be me? Is it going to be them? How many? Because I know that's what I used to do. It was just a guessing game. Just stick around. Oh, thank you, Chrissy. But like, do you see what I mean? Like, you already know that it's not going to last, and yet you stick around anyway. Because you're like, you know it's not going to last, but you're still like, but I really like this, but it's not even you. It's not you. This is why when you meet somebody that you get on with and you have a connection with, you have to spend the time with them to discern what kind of connection that it is. Otherwise, you just end up in another karmic situation. Because that's what it is. Those situations are to teach you about boundaries, discernment, learning to listen to your intuition, standing your ground, standing up for what you believe in, enabling those boundaries and sticking to them, and delivering consequences, learning what your self-worth is. That's what those relationships are about. It's like, okay, recommendation here. If it's still, I'm sure it is, Black Mirror. I think it's episode 4 of season 1. It's called Hang the DJ, right? Excuse me. Go and watch it. It's about relationships and like the different relationships, how long they last, you know, how long, what you're supposed to learn, But there's timers on all these relationships, right? And when the timer goes off, it doesn't matter whether it's a 2-day relationship, a 3-month relationship, or a 5-year relationship, right? They know that once that timer goes off, party done. And they literally will go their separate ways. No tears, no tantrums, no hanging on, even when the other person said, I don't want to be with you anymore. Nobody's finest moments, but you know, that sort of, right, it's a brilliant episode, right? So people need to go and watch it again, and they'll start to get it, because that one couple that it's mainly about, right, they're counterparts, and then right at the end of the episode it shows you how many different simulations they've been through to get to each other, to get it right, to be with each other, because they're supposed to be together, but they always know that. They end up sort of going, I think they get into like a little relationship 2 or 3 times, but then in between they go off with other people, learn other things, come back together, and like it's all, yeah, Stranger Things is good, and it's all you know, about learning your lessons, but learning them and then moving forward. It would be wonderful if people could do that, but they don't. That's why a lot of people endure a lot of emotional trauma throughout relationships, especially empaths. Half the time, the emotional trauma that you're dealing with isn't even yours. It's coming from the person that you was with. The transference. They're like, here, have some of that. Because you'll take their stuff from them, you transmute it, but you give them the good stuff. That's why narcissists love an empath. Because we're a bunch of mugs. We're like comfort blankets for them. That's why you need to learn your boundaries. That's why you need to learn to stand your ground. Like, no, sunshine, that don't fly around here. Off your pop, and don't come back unless you're in a better state of emotional state, mental state, more stable. Or it's a case of, don't like you anyway. Off your pop. Take it as it resonates. But it is food for thought. So, have you ever really been in love? That's the question. And if the answer's no, then you have to ask yourself why. How have you allowed yourself to consistently keep ending up in situations where you're giving love to somebody but not getting it back, but you're not really even in love with that person? You're literally healing that person whilst you're being traumatized, because what you're feeling is theirs. Lust and limerence do not make good relationships. Please, Divine Soul Tribers, start taking the time to discern connections when you meet somebody. And if you're not ready to be in a relationship because you don't feel that you're emotionally balanced, don't go entertaining relationships with people just to fill the void. Fill the void yourself. This is another thing as well. If we've all got, well, not all of us at the moment, but you know, when you're dealing with low self-esteem, when you're dealing with low self-worth, when you're dealing with your abandonment issues, right? How are you in a relationship and trying to get love from somebody if you're not giving that to yourself? If you haven't got a healthy sense of self-worth, a healthy sense of self-esteem, and you've faced and processed your abandonment issues. Because if you haven't done any of those things, you're going to keep enduring triggering relationships. You are. Right. So, I'm going to pull a few cards to see how far we've come. Because this is we're still in the full moon energies. Full moon in Aries. Time to take action, people. Don't know about you though. I was wiped out. Tired. Right, I'm going to use this deck. This one's calling me my Divination of the Ancients deck. So that's my Angel Dream Oracle, and this is the Divination of the Ancients. So we get a couple of these, then we get a couple of those, and then we're going to move over to the love stuff and see if we can get this all tied in, because I've got a few songs, a few channeled songs, Divine Soul Tribers. Your people, them out there, it's been a lot of back and forth, a lot going on. So let's see how far you've come. So please do the work on yourself, work on your self-esteem, your confidence, your self-worth, your abandonment issues, so that you can, look, scrying mirror projection, so that you can actually enjoy a loving relationship with yourself and with your counterpart when they come on in. Focus. Scrying mirror projection. Project love to yourself. Omen. We don't want none of that. Right, so let's have a look and see what cards. I only want a few, 2 or 3. Let's see. 2 or 3 cards, please. You're on your destined path. That's astrology. Oh yeah, because this one, they have little I know you are. Big up with the Rams. Prayers. Have you guys been praying and mastering yourselves? That clouds is back again. You guys are actually evolving, right? You're growing and evolving and ascending at a rate of knots. You've been praying. You're on your destined path and you're mastering yourselves. Let's get a little bit of information. Astrology. Destiny. Right, let's start with the incantation. Star of wonder, star so bright, my soul doth shine both day and night. I look up through the galaxy and step into my destiny. Other divinatory meanings. Visit an accredited astrologer to have your astrological chart read. Enjoy stargazing. Learn about the planets and how their alignments affect you. Don't forget, we've still got a few planets in retrograde, and I was talking to somebody yesterday and she was telling me how we're literally just coming out of the shadow period of Venus and Mercury retrograde. Take bold steps towards your chosen destiny and go for it. Check out your Matrix Destiny chart, matrixdestinychart.com. Right, go and check that out. That will give you a little bit more insight into who you are, your life path, what your past life karma is, them sort of things. I mean, if you want the full thing, you'd have to pay for it, but it gives you enough to get going, right? Anyway, you have an important life purpose. I don't know how many times I've told you guys this, right? This is why this is a big thing, right? Learning how to love yourself and how to discern your feelings and your emotions from somebody else's, because it's all like mixed up energies. So you have to learn how to separate. That's why I keep coming back to this. Have you ever really been in love? Hi, Stephanie. Right? Have you ever really been in love? I mean, Because what do people always say? If you don't love yourself, how can you expect another person to love you, and how can you love another person? Anyway, you've got a big life purpose, and you're here to shine brightly. You are, because you've got beautiful divine light. That's why. You have always felt different and special, and known that you were meant to be big. Trouble is, life has got in the way, and even though you have felt a calling, you don't actually know what it is you are meant to do. Before you were born, you chose the exact time of your birth and the date to determine who you would be in this lifetime and what you came here to achieve. Your astrological sign, stars, and planetary movement all play a big part in your life. A lot of people are like, oh, matrixdestiny.com or .org. I think it's .com. matrixdestinychart.com. Right? See, you can create your own destiny, but is it the stars that point you in the right direction? Go seek out. See, even if you go to cafastrology.com, there again, that will give you quite an in-depth view of your astrological birth chart. But that's Western astrology, don't forget. So go and check it out. Right, so I'll have to put the link in the comment section. I might put it in the description box for YouTube. But both those charts between the two of them will give you a better idea of like who you are at the core, like certain aspects. Because I remember when I first came across like my full birth chart, right? And I was reading it, and it said ideal job. Right, your ideal profession, your ideal job, social work. You know, social work. What are you talking about? Doing that, and this is social work. I help others. That's social work. But you don't. You just think, oh, you know, busybody social worker don't do their jobs properly. You know, whatever it is, right? But that's what you think. But social work comes in many different forms. I'm telling you, I remember when I first read it, oh God, probably about 10 years ago now. And that's when I started finding out about moon signs. Because I knew about rising signs, but I didn't know about moon signs. Mercury, Mars and Venus, all that sort of stuff and all the rest of it, right? And when I read it, the first time I read it, I was like, that doesn't seem like me. That's not right. Well, I suppose it is a general overview, but if you know your time of birth, like it tells you what houses everything's in, all this rest of it. And then when I went back and read it, like about a year later, I was like, oh, okay, so yeah, I can see that now. It's very eye-opening, but you have to go into it with an open mind and not be so like, well, that's wrong and that's wrong. Stop. Because I'm telling you, it's literally like a map to who you are. Like even down to things like it will say about whether you have a good relationship with your mother or your father in your younger years, and certain, even like down to what you'd be like at school, all kinds of stuff. Honestly, go and check it out. And the Matrix Destiny chart, that's a bit different. That will tell you what you're supposed to be doing at certain points in your life. If you want the full thing, you'd have to pay for it, but it does tell you what your past life karma is. Well, it did when I read it last year. Anyway, so go and do that, because you know you need to know who you are. Know yourself. This mastery card, but the smoke prayers. So I'm seeing like fire and ice there, fire and water energy. Again, but like let's have a look and see what that one is all about. That. Right, prayers. Have you guys been praying for your soul in this matrix? Anyway, incantations. I offer up prayers of mine to great spirit, to love divine, directing my breath like smoke to thee. For your answers I wait patiently. Right. Other divinatory meanings. Prayers will help with this situation. What you have asked for will come about, and soon. Ask and it is given. Be patient. Daily prayers will enhance your connection with the divine. Keep a prayer list for those in need of helping and healing. Yourself first. Whether you have given your prayers up to God, the Goddess, Great Spirit, or to whomever aligns with your beliefs, be assured your prayers have been heard and are being answered. Still, you are required to have patience. It may seem as though you have been waiting an age to receive the results you have asked for, but you must allow everything to unfold naturally, like smoke rising from a fire pit to bring it all about. Things invisible to you must take place in the background, as above, so below, as within, so without. So, you know, things have to happen in the 5D before they can trickle down into the 3D. It's manifestations, isn't it? Prayers, manifestations, whatever it is. But you have to align yourself with that which what you ask for, that which what you want. Yeah? And patience, that's why patience is a virtue. Right? So you've been mastering yourself out here, right? The ancients would often pay homage to a wise person such as an augur to receive insight and messages in order to take appropriate action. You, however, are not required to do so, as Spirit calls you to step into your own sacred space, divine soul tribers. This is you mastering yourselves after you're sending out your prayers, and then you're aligning yourself with the divine path that you're supposed to be on, your destined path, to receive your gifts from the heavens above, right? And that's your manifestations, okay? I finally let my ego go. It does not serve, and now I know that my pride comes before a fall. This I must master most of all. Let's have a look at the clouds. Oh, just landed there. A wonderful gateway has opened up for you. That is lit. And then here's the thing. That was at the bottom of the deck the last time I got these cards out. It was. So this, and so was, look, these two cards, the Master card and the Mystical card, right? The Augur and the Clouds. They've both come out the last time I used this deck. So that tells me that you guys are in alignment and you are receiving these gifts. Slowly but surely. You are, because you're walking your destined path. Your prayers are bringing you into alignment with what you're supposed to be doing. All right? What you are witnessing is very real. So use your natural and psychic gifts to explore the esoteric realms. You guys are getting dreams. You're getting downloads. You are getting messages. You're channeling messages. Your intuition's heightened. You're a lot more sensitive than you was before. And you need to stop second guessing yourself. Stop it. A mystical kingdom exists in my mind. I seek the signs in the clouds, and there I shall find a touch and a whisper, the call of my name, as the clouds lift me higher, and there I shall reign. It's because you're angels. You are. It's where you come from, the heavens. Your imagination is key. What you are experiencing is real. Practice daily meditation. You are a spiritual teacher. Your life story is your testimony. It is. Each one teach one. You can't teach people things that you haven't learned. Your experiences lead to your knowledge. Your knowledge unlocks your wisdoms. Learn how to tune into the world of spirit. You are a natural psychic. You are. You are mastering yourselves and you don't even realise it. How many times do you think something and then it happens? Or you're like, I knew that was going to happen. I told you. Taking that goddess energy. White, that source, divinity, enlightenment. See, you're coming to a lot of these conclusions. At the bottom of the deck is spiritual activation, simulation, but astral, dream time, soul travel. What did I just say to you? Pay attention to your dreams. You're getting messages left, right and centre. You're in the detox process right now. Cleanse and clarify. Maiden Mother Crone, and this one here, she's got the moon phases on her head. Maiden Mother Crone. Goddess insight. Food. This come up the last time I used this. Are you nourishing the relationship with yourself? Are you nourishing yourself back to health? Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. Well, look, lucid dreams. You're being guided in your dreams, and you're doing a lot of work in your dreams. So if you're waking up more tired than when you went to sleep, that's because you're doing work that you can't necessarily do in your waking state. Your spiritual warriors out here. I keep telling you this. Badasses. Got a job to do. Says it right there. You're on your destined path. Look. Illumination. Growth. God energy. That's 2 cards here, right? And it actually 3 cards here that speak of God energy, divinity. You're returning back to source. So you literally are ascending to 5D now. Balance, elemental kingdom. I don't like that one. But you need to find the balance within yourself. I'll tell you why I don't like it, because I only noticed it once before. There's elves in there, like fairies and pixies, and there can be trickster spirits, right? You're ascending. You're ascending. You're returning back to your innocence. You've got to trust the process. Patience. Dandelion, vitality, empowerment. Just going to get one more. One more. Love it. What was it? What was it? Boom! That's the High Council. That is your spiritual team, right? The High Council, because you've got a big important job to be doing out here. You're ascending at a rate of knots. You're mastering things that you didn't even know you were doing, right? Pay attention to your dreams. There's a lot of opportunities coming your way to step forward. I've been telling you this for a very long time. You're moving timelines. You're moving timelines. You're jumping them, ascending. I'm going to finish this bit here, these cards. No, those ones keep staring at me. Right, this is the Light Seers Tarot deck. That's the 10 of Cups at the bottom. 4 of Wands. Love it. Congratulations, Divine Soul Tribers. Congratulations. Everything out here is good stuff. You're solving your problems. You're finding resolutions for any challenges that you are encountering. I wasn't even going to do it, but I was picking it up just to show you. Look, angels is underneath that. What did I just say? Your ancestors, your angels, your spirit team, right? On this, God energies out here, Goddess energies out here, angels are out here. I'm telling you, the whole team is out here on it. Yeah, don't let it scare you, darling. The more you resist, the more it persists. Slow and steady wins the race. Acceptance is key, my darling. Look, look. There's that damn clown. You're not a puppet. You are no longer bound to your shadow side. You're not. And this is why you will encounter challenges, because you're moving into a space now, right, where it's time for you to celebrate. It's time for you to be committed to yourself, happy, in relationships with people that care about you, not people that want to see your demise. Agents of darkness, I call them creatures. Invest in yourself like you have been doing. Move forward with passion, away from those that would hold you back. Like, sometimes, see, with the psychic powers, right, it's accepting that. Look, be committed to God. Ascend the path towards your... Listen, the more you ascend, right, the more your light shines bright, and then it irritates their demons. You can't take them all with you, my darling. Some of them have got to be left behind. That's the thing. You're an earth angel out here, balancing yourself. Yin yang, the light and the dark. This is what you do. It's accepting the dark part of yourself. That's a big part of it. It's accepting that instead of trying to cover it up or hide it. There's no sense to be ashamed of how you got to become who you are. It wasn't exactly, you know, a party full of unicorns and rainbows. Well, it might have been depending on what drugs you used to take. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. You got to where you are today because you lived your life. You managed to come out of your dark space. You managed to accept your dark side. So now you get to teach others how to do the same. That's how you master things. That's how you unlock your gifts. These things don't get dropped on you. Yeah, I know, my love. Like, I've been there. I've danced with the devil many times in my life. And it wasn't much fun. But managed to get out of it. See? And the reason why you're here now is because you've got a higher calling. Because you've got a bigger purpose. You've got a big mission here on earth. You just had more lessons to learn. That's all. But the more lessons you learn, the more experience you have, the more wisdom you unlock, and the more people you can help. Because when you tell somebody, right, you've got to give all that love to yourself so your cup runneth over. Look, there you go, 10 of Cups, emotional contentment, right? You've got to remember this. It's just an experience. It was your training program. It's not what defines you, it's what helped shape you. And now you're releasing your training program because you're mastering yourself. You've taken control of yourself. You've let go of this clown and this agents of darkness. Because you learnt to love yourself. You loved yourself enough to let the training program go, to release the training program. No longer at a stalemate. No longer. Spiritual transformation, death of the training program and the rebirth of who you are supposed to be. Walking your destined path. And this is the thing, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I did this and I did that. Yeah? And once you learn to accept yourself, then it's easier to let these things go. It is. No more crying, staying awake at night crying, stressing, anxiety about what you've done. You did it. You can't undo it. You can't change it. You can learn from it. You can. Become a better person. Because look at all those birds. There's one white one there in amongst all of those. That's spirit. That's the angels coming down to let you know, look, I've got you. Come, I've got you. You're not going to live the rest of your life in despair. Because this is what you're walking towards. All those cups are full of love, happiness, contentment, stability, happy ever after. And that doesn't mean you're not going to have bad days. Because, yeah, there are going to be some days where it's going to take every little bit of inner strength you've got to get out of bed. But you'll do it because you're not the person that you used to be. Have some compassion for yourself. You've been through a lot. You have. And now it's time for you to have a brand new stable beginning. It is. Plenty of opportunities to move forward. To help others start their foundation from which they can build and they can have a stable life. And this is you. You're going to be working with other people that are like-minded, that are on your vibrational frequency. No more treacherous people in your life. No more agents of darkness, because you'll be able to sniff them out as soon as walk past them. See them from down the street. Oh, stay away from me. Slow and steady wins the race. It does. But you've got to balance your chakra system out. You have. Huh? Focus. Take action and take steps, the necessary steps to move forward. Rome wasn't built in a day. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't. Because, you're just holding yourself back. It's like when you're in a toxic relationship. And a lot of people, trigger warning, I should have. Trigger warning. What comes next out of my mouth is not going to sit very well with a lot of people. But it's the truth. And if I triggered you, good. Think about what I'm saying. When we are in a toxic relationship, and this is something I had to come to terms with myself, you're treated the way you allow somebody to treat you, because you allow them to treat you that way because deep down inside, subconsciously, that's how you feel about yourself. If you don't feel worthy of being treated better, then you won't, I don't want to say demand it, but you won't stand your ground. You won't enable your boundaries. You'll allow that person to do whatever it is they're doing. And don't get me wrong, I've been in a violently abusive relationship. I have. So I know what it's like to be in that situation. So I don't want people thinking that I'm negating that situation and how difficult it is to leave. I know how difficult it is to leave. But you eventually manage to do it. And this is the thing, right? This is one of the things, and I know this from my own personal experience and that of which I witness. But let's just go with the personal experience, right? You'll get an opportunity to leave and then go back. And he was never able to get me on the mental side of things. But deep down inside, I was ashamed of myself. I felt bad about myself. I didn't feel worthy of being treated any better. Well, this is obviously what I deserve. But that's how I felt about myself. I was very young at the time. And I went back. Twice. I left him twice and went back. The last time I left him was the last time I left him. But it took every bit of power I had within myself to stay away. Again, an empath. But I refused point blank to go and live back in that man's house. I wasn't doing it. Once I cleared that flat out, that was it. I was done. Yes, I did still see him because it was very difficult to just walk away, as anybody that's been in that situation knows. But I did it. But again, I get how difficult it is to get away from them. Right? But you have to feel worthy of being treated with kindness, care, respect, love, decency, compassion. Otherwise, you will tolerate being treated like a doormat. I speak from experience, so no, I'm not sitting here, preaching and, I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, who does she think she is? I don't think things, I know things. I've been here having my human experience the same as you guys. So, that's why I'm here. Talking about these things. Anyway. Right. 6 of Cups. Release the past. It's time to release the past. Let go of that heartache and allow yourself to ascend. Because a lot of it's going to be, that's what's holding you back. Because you're High Priestess out here, listen, about to be victorious. Victorious. You are. So, that's that, you guys. You got to love yourself enough to walk away from these agents of darkness. You've got all of this good energy out here. You've got some serious people behind you right now. You've got God energy, Goddess energy. You've got the High Council at it, evolution, information. You're being upgraded, right? Source. You're returning back to source. You're being enlightened. Your divinity is being elevated, is what I'm hearing. Elevated, right? You're ascending, being illuminated, reborn into who you're supposed to be. But to be reborn into who you're supposed to be, you've got to release the training program. That's all it was a training program. It's no different to, I suppose, going into the army and doing all that training. It's very grueling, it's tough, you know, there's a lot of blisters, tears, bruises, cuts and scrapes. But you make it, you get through the other side, and you're glad you continue to keep going, right? And then eventually, over a lot of years, a few battles, a couple of wars, whatever it is, you become, you know, you rise up through the ranks. That's how it works. Generals don't earn their badges just by standing back and reading a few books. They got to get in the trenches. They get their hands dirty. That's how they earn them badges. That's how they earn them stripes. That's what you're doing. You've leveled up. You're mastering yourself. So go and check out your birth charts. I want to do that love reading, but I think I should separate them. We'll make that episode 101. I'm just going to shut this down, and then I'm going to come back. So, guys, release. And if you need to go and have a good cry, go and have a good cry. If you're having a bad day, take it, jot it down as a bad day. But don't let that bad day turn into a bad week or a bad fortnight or a bad month. You're not useless. You're not. Because I'm telling you now, there's at least one person in your life that appreciates you. There is. Oh, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have got through this. If it wasn't for you, I don't know what I would have done. How many times have you heard it? You're like, oh, it's nothing, don't worry. Like, it's fine. As long as you're all right. Look at this. I've just noticed this. This lucid dream. My girl out here, these are like loads of butterflies. And they're different colour. You can't see it because of the lighting. Your dreams will help you transform. Angels are protecting you. The High Council's on this. That's your ancestors as well. You've got God energy out here. Source, divinity and enlightenment. Return to innocence. Now, that doesn't mean that, because you're ascending to goddess status or God status, doesn't really matter. Divine status. You're returning back to your innocence for a fresh start. And that doesn't mean you can, you know, it doesn't mean that everything that happened didn't happen. Obviously, you're not, like, completely innocent, but you wiping the slate clean. That's what that is about. It's wiping the slate clean, getting a fresh start. You are. You're going to be happy because you heard your calling. That's what, the Judgment card is about at the moment. You're going to get your wish fulfillment after feeling like you've been defeated. You're not defeated. You're not. You worked hard, so you deserve what comes next. Happiness, stability, contentment, reasons to celebrate, a firm foundation from which you can build. It's the checkpoint destination you've been walking towards this whole time. Right, Divine Soul Triders. On that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you for joining me on my 100th episode of What's the Tea with D, right? And I hope I've left you with some food for thought. And if I've triggered you, good. Go and think about what's been said, Divine Soul Tribers. Right, so I'll be back in about 5-10 minutes to do the love stuff, because that's going to be a good one. Right, so until next time, stay divine.